Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Juan Carlos Monsalve. We're going to play a new show of Baccarat, my favorite casino table game. Today is October 24, 2023. At the time of this recording is 8:26 a.m. I will premiere this video at 4 p.m. Eastern Time today. And if you like my videos or find them interesting, please give them a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I need subscribers, and also watch the game from the beginning to the end. You can share them with your friends. If you want to support my channel, you can do that by going to buymeacoffee.com backslash Juan Carlos Monsalve. You can find all the scorecards in my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask me in the comments section. If you would like to, I would like to know where you are located. Yeah, please type the name of the city, state or province, and country where you live. Thank you and enjoy the game. I have in front of me the spreadsheet that I use to collect the data. I have here P for player equal 1 blue, B for banker equal -1 red, and T equals 0 or yellow. I will enter the information vertically here, the result for player and the result for banker, and automatically it will populate the information here on this third column where it says winner. Could be player, banker, or tie. Here you will see the number of players, the number of bankers, the number of ties, and the total of hands. Here we'll enter the first card, the card that we burn, plus the other cards that we burn with this number. The name of the game is Baccarat. On the right side, we will see the different scorecards. I have the number every 2, 3, all the way to 11. We won't stop to review the scorecards at the time that we are playing. We will go over them at the end of the show. So at this moment, the burn card is 6 of diamonds. I need to burn 6 cards plus the 6 of diamonds card for a total of 7. I have 7 here, so 6 and the initial diamonds. D, 6 of diamonds, and we burn 6 more cards for a total of 7. Before we place them here in the discard tray. The first hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a player 7 and banker 7. The first hand of the shoe is a tie. I usually don't play when I'm at the casino. I don't play shoes that start with a tie. But in this case, I need to collect the data. I don't have enough data to be able to identify my own strategy for this type of games. But still, I will play it. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 3 player, banker 0. The third card for player is a 0, and the third card for banker is an 8. So it's 3 player, 8 banker. So this is a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a player 4 and banker 6. So the third card for player is a 4, And because we have a 6 and we got a 4 as a third card for player, we don't get any more cards for banker. So 4 plus 4 is 8 player and 6 banker. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 7 banker in the stance, and player gets a third card, and the third card is a 9. So 9 player and 7 banker. We have 3 players in a row. If we look at in the middle of the screen here, we have 3 players, 1 banker, 1 tie for a total of 5 hands. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 5 players, 3 banker. We get a third card for player. And because we have a 1, we need to get a third card for banker as well. So we have a 0. We have 3, 5, 6 player. And banker we have 3. That's another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 9 player and banker 3. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 0 player, 0 banker. Third card for both of them. The third card for player is a 3 and the third card for banker is a 0. So it is 3 player, 0 banker. We have a nice player run. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a banker 6 and the third card for player is a 0. So we don't get any more cards for banker. Excuse me, this one is a 0 here. And we have a 0 player and 6 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 2 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 0 player, 1 banker. We need a third card for both of them. Player goes to 5 and banker goes to 9. So 5 player, 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 3 banker. Didn't get any more cards. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 1 player and 2 banker. Player third card is an 8 for a total of 9. And banker, we have 2 here. We need a third card for banker, and the third card is a 4. So 9 player and 6 banker. That was another player hand. The next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a 7 player and natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 2 player, banker 3. We need a third card for player, 0. And because we got a 0 third card for player, we need a third card for banker, and the third card is a 0. So totals are 2 for player and 3 for banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 9 player and 2 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 7 player and 2 banker, 7 stands and 2 banker. We need a third card for banker, and the third card is an 8. So 2 plus 8, that's a 0. So player 7 and banker 0. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 4 banker and 3 player. We need a third card for player, and the third card is a 1 for a total of 4. And if we have a 4 on banker, we only get a third card if we get the third card for player from 2 to 7, so we don't get any more cards. So right now it's 4 player, 4 banker, that's another tie. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player 7 stands and banker has a 3. Banker gets a third card and it's a 1. So player 7 and banker gets 4 total. So 7, 4, that was a player hand. We have a total of 13 players, 5 bankers, 2 ties, for a total of 20 hands. Um, we have here the 7 player and stands, and banker we have 0. We get a third card for banker, and it's another 0. So 7 player, 0 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have natural 9 player and 0 banker. That's another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 5, 4, 5 player, 4 banker. The third card for player is an 8. So because we have an 8, we don't get any more cards for banker. So total of player is 3, and banker total is 4. So banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 9 player and 6 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 0 player for banker. The third card for player is a 0, so player remains 0, and banker, we don't get any more cards for banker. So it stays at 4, 0, 4, banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 1 player, 1 banker. We need a third card for both of them. We have a 0 4 player, so it remains at 1. And banker gets a 5 for a total of 6. So 1 player, 6 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a six player in his stance. Banker has two and gets a third card, and the third card is a three for a total of five. So six player, five banker. That was a player hand. Now we have 17 players, eight bankers, and two ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a three player and two banker. We need a third card for both of them. We have a five plus 13. That's an eight player, and the third card for banker is a five. So that is a total of seven. Seven banker and player is eight. Eight player, seven banker. That was a player hand again. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural eight player and zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a seven player and four banker. Seven player, four banker, because the banker has less than six. We need to get a third card. And the third card is a two for a total of six. So seven player, six banker. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a two player, zero banker. We need a third card for both of them. Two goes to three player, and banker gets a third card. And the third card is a five. So three, five. That's a banker hand. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural eight banker. Five player, natural eight banker. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a zero player and one banker. We need a third card for both of them. This zero goes to seven player. Banker, the third card is a four for a total of five. That was a player hand. Seven, five. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have three players, zero banker. We need a third card for both of them. We have a zero player plus three remains at three, and the third card for banker is a one. So three player, one banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a six player in stance. Banker has four, and we get a third card for banker, and it's a one for a total of five. So six player, five banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have four players, zero banker. We need a third card for both of them. The player remains at four since we got a zero, and the third card banker is a two. So four, two. Player camping in. We have 24 players, 10 bankers, two ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player, natural 9 banker. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a six player and stands, and banker seven and stands. So that's another banker hand. Six, seven. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a zero player and two banker. The zero player, the third card is another zero, so it remains at zero. And banker has two, it gets a third card, and the third card is at zero, so it remains at two. So two banker hand. We have three bankers in a row. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have four player, one banker. We get a third card for both of them. This 4 plus 9 is 3, and 1, the third card for banker is a 0, so it remains at 1. So 3, 1. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have 3 player, 5 banker, the third card for player, and it's a 5. So 3 plus 5 is 8, and banker 5, and for 5 on banker, I get a third card if I get anything from 4 to 7. So I got a 5, so I need a third card for banker, and it's a 7. So this 5 reduces to 2. So 8, 2, player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player and 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. So I have a 6 player and 6 banker. No more cards. 6, 6. That's a total. It's a tie hand. It's the third tie the third tie on the shoe. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 9 player, 6 the banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have 4 player, 5 banker. I need a third card for player, and it's a 0. So player is a 4, and no more card for banker. So since we got a 0 third card for player. So that was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 player and natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Player gets a third card and banker as well. So 3 plus 6, that's a 9. And banker gets a 0 for a total of 2. So 9 player and 2 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 0 player, 0 banker, third card for both of them. The player goes to 5 and banker gets another 0. So 5, 0. Okay, next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 2 player, banker 6. So third card for player is a 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. And 6 doesn't get another card since we got a 4. So that was another tie hand 6, 6. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 9 banker and 2 player. 2 player, natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 3 player, 2 banker. We need a third card for both of them. Third card for bank for player is an 8. So 3 plus 8, 1. And banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So it remains at 2. 1, 2. That was the banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a 3 and 4. 3 player, and the third card is a 0. So 3 remains at 3, and because we got a 0 as a third card for player, we don't get any more cards on that for banker, so it remains 4. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 6 player and 3 banker, and the 6 player stands. 3 banker gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So totals are 6 player and 3 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker, 3 player, 2 banker, the third card for both of them. The 3 player plus 7, that's a 0, and the banker 2 plus 5, 7. So 0 player, 7 banker. Another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural 8 player. Banker has a 7. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a 6 player on the stands and 7 banker on the stand. So 6 player, 7 banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Now we have a natural 8 banker and 1 player. 1, 8. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a player 1, and the third card is a 2. So for banker, we get a third card with a 4 if we get anything from 2 to 7. So we get a 2, so we need a third card for banker, and it's a 0. So 3 player, 4 banker, another banker hand, 3 bankers in a row. We have 32 players, 22 bankers, 4 ties for a total of 58 hands. First card player, banker, player, banker. We have 7 banker in his hands, and player gets a third card, and the third card is a 0. So it remains at 0. 0, 7, another banker hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Banker has a 7 on his stance. Player gets a third card, and the third card is a 9, so he reduces that 4 to a 3. And banker is 7. We have 5 bankers in a row. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have natural 9 banker, and player we have a 3. 3, natural 9 banker. Next hand, first card player, first card banker, second card player, second card banker. Now Okay, we are hand number 62. We're gonna play hand number 63. First card player, banker, player, banker. We have five player, banker one. The third card for player is an eight. So five plus eight is gonna be three, or is three player. And banker, the third card is a zero. So it is three player and one banker. So the one player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural nine player, and banker has a two. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a six player in stands. Banker has an eight. So six player, eight banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a six player and zero banker. Six player and stands. Banker gets a third card and it's a one. So six player and one banker. So that's another player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a natural eight player and zero banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. Have a five player and five banker. The third card for player is a zero. Because I have a zero player, a third card player, I don't get any more cards for banker. So it is five, five, another tie hand. For number of ties on this shoe has been five. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a four player gets a third card, and banker also gets a third card. Third card for player is a zero, so it remains at four, and the third card for banker is a zero, so it remains at zero as well. Four, zero. That was a player hand. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have a one player and three banker. The third card for player is a four, so one plus four is total of five, and banker has a three. It gets a third card, and the third card is a six, so three plus six, total of nine. The banker hand, five, nine. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. We have another tie. Seven player, seven banker, for a total of six ties. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and zero banker. I need a third card for both of them. The player gets a zero, so it remains at three, and the third card for banker is a three. That is another tie. Three, three. Total of ties on this shoe, seven. Next card for player, next card for banker, second card player, second card banker. I have a zero player for banker, The third card for player is another zero, and because I have a zero third card for player, we don't get any more cards for bankers. For banker, so it's a zero player for banker. Next hand, first card player, banker, player, banker. I have a three player and five banker. I need a third card for player, and it's a seven, and that makes it player zero. And banker has five, and I get a third card if I get anything from four to seven. We got a seven, so I need a third card for banker, and it's a six. So these five plus six, that's a one, and zero one. That was a banker hand. Next hand, first card player. I got a cut card, so I will play this hand plus one more. And first card banker, second card player, second card banker. We have a natural nine player, zero banker. That was a player hand, and we are going to play the last hand of the shoe. Player, banker, player, banker. We have a player zero, banker three. The next hand for player is the third card for player is a five. We have three banker, so banker gets another card, the third card, and it's a three. So three plus three is a total of six. So five players, six banker. So the last hand of the shoe was a banker hand. We have 39 players, 30 bankers, and seven dice. The remainder of the shoe. The remainder of the shoe. So we go over the scorecards. We have a total of 76 hands of the shoe. This was a very dominant player. It's a 39 player. So I'm not surprised to see lone players here, like in row 11 of this scorecard. We have six players here, four players here, four players here. Bankers, I see for three bankers here, three bankers here, three bankers here. On 1 to 10 or every 10, I see if a four player here, three here, five players here, three bankers here. Every 9, I see here four players and here three players, three players, three players, three bankers here. Every 8, I see four players here, four players here, four players here. Every 7, I see six players here, and I see this long run 3, 6, 9, 10 players here, four players here, bankers, four bankers here, four bankers here. Every 6, I see six players here, five players here, four here, three bankers, four bankers, three bankers. Every 6. Every 5, I see here four bankers here, three bankers here, four players here, three players here, two players here, three players here. Every 4, I see five players, four players, four bankers, three bankers, three bankers. Every 3, I see four players, six players, seven players here, four bankers here, three players here. Every 2, I see here nice three, six bankers here, three players here, four players here, four players here, three players here. So those are the different scorecards that I use. I not necessarily I play these scorecards. This is the different ways that you can collect the data of the game and then compare all the games. You can find all the scorecards of the shows that I have played in my recordings. You can find them in my website, juancarlosmonsalve.com. If you like these videos or you find them interesting and useful, you can give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you get notified every time that I upload a new video. And also, you can support my channel by going to buymeacoffee.com/slash Juan Carlos Monsalve. Please watch the videos from the beginning to the end. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, so I need to monetize this channel. So I hope you enjoy the game. I hope you like this game. I really like it. And thank you, and I will see you on the next video. Have a wonderful day.